Welcome to 52 Weeks of Storytelling. This week we are in week 36. Quick spoiler, the prompt this week is favorite food. I'm going to go through a couple of mine. They've morphed over the years based on dietary restrictions and other things. So if you aren't sure about a favorite food, I have some examples. But first, I want to tell you what 52 Weeks of Storytelling actually is. So 52 Weeks of Storytelling is how I have helped people break down writing one page of their story, one page of their book, their memoir, their biography. You get the idea. Over the course of a 52-week period, which in the end ends up being like a year. So if you go back and you watch all the previous videos and you watch all the videos after this, you'll come up with 52 pages of your story. Now, you are more than welcome to use the prompts. You can ditch the prompts. You can use it as a guide. Just find some inspiration and take a moment and set aside some time with yourself each week that you can write just a little bit. You can consider it a journal entry, diary entry, or write an essay and share it with family. I also want to share with you that there is a journal that you can grab. There is a printed version that you can order on Amazon. There's a link to that in the description. There's also a PDF version that you can get off of Etsy. They just vary a little bit in production and how the final product looks. The journal looks super awesome. You can see some examples of it on the website. And yeah, so check out those links. I encourage you to do that. It helps me keep going and make these videos. So with that, I want to share with you what the legacy storytelling method is. So what you'll find in the journals and on the website is a set of questions that walk you through the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why, in that order. The first 4 usually are pretty simple for people to work through. The 5th one is usually what trips people up, which is why. I like to think of it as, why did this moment happen? How did you get here? What was happening in your life that brought you to wherever you are in the moment that you're thinking of? The next set of questions that are part of the method are what I call the digging deeper questions. These focus more on impact, feelings, and what you want people to remember about this moment. Those questions really help you be reflective. They help your storytellers be reflective if you're using this as an activity staff person or as a caregiver. And it gives people an opportunity to think critically about this moment, about the impact it had on their life. Maybe it changed a trajectory, and also what they want people to remember about this moment. That question usually gives people an opportunity to really dig deep and find something that is meaningful in every moment, which is kind of the whole point. So that is a legacy storytelling method. With that, I want to jump into the weekly writing prompt. So this week is favorite food. One thing I've noticed over the years in doing this work that people are when you talk about favorites, it's usually polarizing. So people will have a very specific favorite thing or things they don't like. So this is a really great prompt to start yourself off on, or start with another storyteller, and really investigate why their favorite food is important to them. Did someone share it with them? Was it something that got made on a specific holiday? Is it attached to family memories or traditions? There's a whole video somewhere on food traditions and baking, so I encourage you to go check that out. But that's really I just lost my train of thought. Favorite food. So, when we get into actual, like, the impact part of it, sometimes when we think about our favorite food, it changes or influences how we interact with other people in our lives. So if we have children later in life, we might share our favorite food with them. And if that wasn't our favorite food, we might not have shared it with them. So that is an example of impact. I would like to share with you now my story example. So I have had a number, as I alluded in the intro of this video, alluded to a number of favorite foods. So if my initial favorite food was spaghetti, so much so that at 14 I decided that would be my email address. It's still my email address in a couple of places. I've been working on fixing it over, but yeah, spaghetti. So spaghetti was it was my camp name at Girl Scouts when I was staff and as a kid. And I just loved it because it also was a word. I thought it was a complicated word for a long time because people would always forget the H. And yeah, so that was my favorite food. Mostly for the taste, like I liked it, but I think I just was attached to it for the word and like, I don't know, I just like saying it. I really like words. So that was my favorite food growing up. as I've gotten older, I realized I had a gluten intolerance, so I don't eat spaghetti as much. Sometimes when they do fundraisers around here, they will have gluten-free spaghetti and gluten-free pasta, which is super awesome. So I always try to go support those when they have gluten-free pasta. And yeah, so that was my childhood favorite food. That's another way you can split this question up, is asking about childhood favorite food and favorite food as an adult now. As an adult now, it's kind of weird because I can't eat gluten and I can't eat anything in the lettuce family. So it really, I realize other people have much worse sensitivities than I do, but it still makes choosing food and enjoying food more cumbersome than it was before. So I think if I were to say what my favorite food now is that I like my food to taste good, and I enjoy making good food. I really like complex flavors and depths of things, and it allows me to enjoy it more. So that's my story. That's it for this week. That's the prompt. Please make sure you check out those links to the journal, subscribe wherever you're watching this or listening, and I hope to see you again for next week, because we'll be coming back. And until then, I hope you have an incredibly wonderful day. And of course, as always, happy writing.